What is up, FLocers? That is my fellow lockers and aspiring lockers. Oh wait, hold on just a second. Alright, there we go. I know you guys are probably wondering what is going on with your setup. So I asked Jury here today to help us demonstrate the different type of locks. Since I already have locks installed in my head, it wasn't going to be simple for me to show you on my own head. So I thought I would enlist the help of Jury, and she gladly agreed to be my test subject, right? She's a little camera shy. All right, so let's go ahead and get started.
So I decided to go ahead and section the hair, and I started with a braid lock. And a lot of this will be sped up because there's no reason to watch it in real time. But with Braidlocs, I would just say that if you're going to use braids to start, that you don't want to braid too tight. Because of the hair type on this particular doll head, I chose to braid tight just so that you could see the pattern and so that it would not slip out and be too loose. But if I were doing this on 4 type hair, I would definitely suggest to braid it loosely. And now we're moving on to our next section, which is going to be our 2-strand twist. So I just section off another part of hair and divide my sections into 2 equal sections. And I twist down the length of the hair. For this third section, I decided to go ahead and do a comb coil. I just figured with this texture of hair with absolutely no curl pattern, it would help if I sprayed some water in it first to help the gel to adhere better. I don't know if that makes any sense at all or if it was even necessary, but that's what I did. And at that point, it was the point of no return, so I just had to commit and keep going. But as you see, I've added some gel to it, and then I just take the comb and create a comb coil while pulling down on that section of hair. And our fourth section is going to be our instant lock section. And I started with back combing. Again, depending on the type of texture that your hair has and your curl pattern, you may or may not have to back comb, but because this hair is almost completely straight, it was necessary for me to back comb to start the process and make sure that there was a foundation for me to start the Interlock process. So I back combed down the entire length of that lock. And then here you can see I took my crochet tool, and it has 3 crochet needles on it, and I'm simply going back and forth through the lock in different directions, making sure to twist the lock as I do this so that it pulls the hairs in from all different directions and creates an instant lock. Now with instant locks, they still go through maturation just like any other type of lock. The only difference is that you leave looking like you have a lock in your head already. And our fifth and final lock creation for today is an interlock. So what I'm doing here is twisting the bottom so that I can start the interlock process. And then I just go through and I'm doing a 4-point rotation of the interlock process from the end of the new to be lock up to the root. And I'm not gonna lie, I had to make sure to pay close attention because there were multiple times where I forgot which direction I was going in, so I had to stop for a second and remember so that I could make sure to go through the correct direction, not to create any holes in the lock. And once I got to this point, it was about as far as I could go with my hand, so I took the lock tool and I went ahead and tightened this lock up some more, again still using the 4-point rotation, but just to get it up closer to the scalp. And here I'm simply demonstrating that no matter how you start your locks, you could technically retwist any type of the lock, but I feel like retightening with a retightening tool, whichever one you choose, is probably going to be the easiest and most efficient if you have Microlocs. Now if your locks are larger, then that's a different story, but for Microlocs, there are some people who do choose to retwist, but I feel like the, again, easiest and simplest way to maintain your roots is probably going to be through interlocking. So I just wanted to demonstrate that it's possible to retwist on all types of these starter locks, but retightening is probably going to be the most efficient way to maintain Microlocs. And just as a reminder, from right to left we have our Braidloc, then we have our two-strand twist, and we have our comb coil, then we have our instant lock, and on the end we have our interlock. And when you look at them all together, you can kind of see what they look like side by side. And I wanted to take the interlock, the Braidloc, and the two-strand twist just to show them up close to see that it's very hard to tell a difference between the three of these, especially once they've started to mature. Can you see a difference? You have to look really close.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed that. I want to give a special shout out and thanks to my model jury. Without you, jury, none of this would have been possible. Let me know in the comments below, what type of method did you use to start your locks? Or what method do you think you would use to start your locks if you're looking to start a lock journey in the near future? Until next time, bye.